Good morning, class 8th. We will resume our discussion of chapter 1. Until now, in chapter 1, that is crop production and management, we discussed about various crops, history of agriculture, need of agriculture, grown in India, crop season in India, and then we discussed two agricultural practice till now, that is preparation of soil, and next was selection and sowing of seeds. In today's class we will discuss adding manures and fertilizers. Okay, plants need nutrients for healthy growth which they get from soil. When crops are grown in the same field again and again, the nutrients in the soil get used up and reduce the yield. Less will be the production of the crop. We can increase the nutrient value of the soil either by adding manures or fertilizers to it, okay, or by following certain practices. Let's first learn about some practices to improve the nutrient value of the soil. Field fallow. In this method, land is left uncultivated for one or more seasons. The microorganism in the soil, such as bacteria, decompose the dead and decaying organic matter, add humus to the soil. It is natural method to recover the lost nutrients to improve the soil fertility. Second is crop rotation. The different crops need different quantities of nutrients for their proper growth when a single crop is grown on a piece of land year after year, nutrients in the soil get used up, and over the time the yield reduces. To prevent the different crops to prevent this, different crops are grown on the same land. The practice of growing different crops alternatively on the same piece of land is called crop rotation. Okay. For example, leguminous are grown between two cereal crops. Cereal crops such as rice and wheat use up a lot of nutrients, especially nitrogen. They reduce the quality of the soil. We learned in class 7th also, leguminous plants such as peas, beans, and grams contain certain bacteria called rhizobium in their root nodules. In the root nodules, these bacteria can fix atmospheric nitrogen. Bacteria can fix atmospheric nitrogen into usable nitrates in the soil, thus improving the soil fertility. Farmers are being encouraged to use this method to improve the yield. Okay, as discussed, to improve the soil fertility, nutrients can be added to the soil by adding manures and fertilizers. Okay, manures is the substances or are the substances obtained by decomposition of vegetables and animal waste by the action of microorganisms. Some commonly used manures are farmyard manures, prepared using cow dung, waste straw, and other dairy wastes; compost, mostly prepared from plant wastes, but also includes animal dung; vermicompost, prepared from both plant and animal waste, prepared from both plant and animal waste, where earthworms are used for decomposing. Earthworms are used for decomposing material quickly. Green manure crops such as leguminous are cultivated in the land and then plowed back in the soil. Okay. Now, the fertilizers are the chemical substances commercially produced in factories. Commercially produced in factories. These add specific nutrients to the soil. These add specific nutrient to the soil or to replace the lost minerals. NPK fertilizers, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium are and urea are commonly used fertilizers. NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Got it? Are commonly used fertilizers. You can see the difference in the manures and fertilizers in the form of their advantages and disadvantages. How manures are advantageous, how they are disadvantageous. We will discuss both in this particular slide. Okay. Advantages of manures: add nutrients, improve soil fertility. Second advantage is increase water holding capacity. Third advantage of manure is make soil porous and improve the aeration. Next advantage is add humus, increase the decomposers in the soil. Next advantage is do not cause pollution. Next advantage or the last advantage is renewable, biodegradable, and eco-friendly. And the important thing is they are very cheap. Okay. Now the advantages of fertilizers are: first is add specific nutrients according to the need of the soil and the crop. Got it? This is something like that. If your body needs blood, and if someone will keep on feeding you with the proteins, then that will be of no use. So in that case, the fertilizers are the necessary things to remove the deficiency of a particular type of nutrients in the soil. Okay. Required in very small quantity. Okay. They are not required in large amount. Readily absorbed by the plants as they are water soluble. Okay. Easy to store, transport, and add to the soil. Next advantage is show drastic improvement in the crop yields. Okay. Manures are natural substances. They will take time to show the improvement in the crop yields. Okay. Now we will consider their disadvantages also. We all know everything is having two aspects, two sides of a coin. One is brighter or other is darker. Okay. Heads or tails. Okay. Booms and banes. Now the disadvantages: can remove the general deficiency of nutrients in the soil but cannot add specific nutrients. Got it? Not easy to store, transport, and add to the soil. Absorbed slowly by the plants as they are not water soluble. Bacteria in the soil have to convert them into water soluble minerals. Okay. The manures will results in the slow improvements, but fertilizers will show a quick results or quick response. Disadvantages of fertilizers are: do not add humus, can change the soil structure, do not bind well with soil, get washed away during irrigation, washed away during irrigation or rainfall, and reach lakes and ponds, thereby polluting them and making them unfit for human consumption, also harm the aquatic animals and plants. Okay, both manures and fertilizers have their own advantages as well as their drawbacks also, as well as their drawbacks also. So so uh, we should prefer we can prefer both. It will depend upon the requirement of the soil also and requirement of the crop also. Okay, dear students. Now, from this table we understand that the fertilizers have to be used with caution. A good farmer uses both manures and fertilizers in the required proportions to increase his crop productions. Okay, okay. And now we will cross check what we learned by the knowledge check segment. Okay, here some fill in the blanks are shown over there. Some fill in the blanks are shown over there. Now we will fill out all the fill in the blanks. Let's start. We are given with the option manures, field fallow, cultivator, fertilizer, and leveling. Okay. First is a blank is a modern tool used to plow the land. It is cultivator. Got it? It is cultivator. Second is the process of breaking down big lumps of soil after plowing is called leveling. Okay? After plowing is called leveling. In second, we will fill out leveling. In third, the addition of manure improves the water holding capacity of the soil. In third, we will fill manure. In the fourth one, the method of leaving field uncultivated for a few months is called field fallow. Okay. In the last one, adds specific nutrients to the soil. Fertilizers fertilizer add specific nutrient to the soil. Okay, dear students. And tomorrow we will continue with the rest of the agricultural practices like irrigation, harvesting, storage. Okay. So, dear students, do one thing. Complete your notebook of all the chapters, all the 5 chapters exercises, and then you can take some time to solve or to do the solution of sample paper in your notebook, and then you can carry on with the revision work. Okay, dear students, take care. Bye bye. Thank you so much, dear students.